Hi, it's Christy at the Bureau, here to update you about the cold weather that's set to continue across Australia for the rest of the week. Starting with our weather map, we can see this large low pressure system out in the Tasman Sea. Now that is driving southerly winds over the eastern part of the country, and that's bringing cold polar air up from the Southern Ocean up over eastern Australia. We can also see this high pressure ridge sitting across the east. Now, areas of high pressure tend to give us settled weather with light winds and clear skies, and that's perfect for getting cold temperatures overnight. So we did see some very cold temperatures last night. Across much of Australia, we saw the coldest night of the year, and even through some parts of inland Queensland, we saw the coldest June night on record. And that will continue tonight. We can see these light blue and white areas across the eastern seaboard showing very cold temperatures overnight, down to -3 at Canberra, -1 at Launceston and Roma. And as you'd expect, with cold temperatures, the risk of frost increases. So widespread frost extending from central Queensland right down the eastern seaboard and across much of Tasmania. Now, over Tasmania last night, we saw quite a lot of black ice, particularly through inland parts, and that's likely to be a risk again tonight. So if you're in that part of the world, please take care if you're travelling on the roads. Our maximum temperatures tomorrow are also below average, particularly through parts of southeastern inland Queensland, down through the southeastern states, and also actually over in southern parts of WA behind a cold front that moved through today. So looking at Wednesday, we can see the system is very slow moving. The big low in the Tasman remaining, we've got this ridge of high pressure over the east, but the important thing to note is this low pressure system and associated front that's moving into South Australia. And that is actually going to bring quite a lot of cloud through inland parts of particularly New South Wales, southwest Queensland, western parts of Victoria as well. So what that does to the temperatures is it will mean that we have the coldest temperatures really just contracting to the eastern fringe of the country, a little bit warmer through inland parts with just a bit more cloud cover acting as an insulator, so it doesn't get quite as cold overnight. And we can see that in the frost pattern as well. Still a risk of frost right along the east, particularly over elevated areas and also over Tasmania. Moving through Thursday and Friday and into the weekend, we can see that that system moves across New South Wales, weakening as it does, bringing just a little bit of patchy rainfall, but importantly we have this high pressure system moving in behind it. This large area of high pressure by the weekend giving us back to those clear skies and light winds. Still this low pressure system in the Tasman Sea continuing to drive that southerly flow though over eastern Australia, keeping that cold air over us. So in terms of the frost picture, we can see on Friday morning, not quite as much frost, a lot more cloud through parts of eastern Australia. Still just a risk on the elevated parts though, and also over Tasmania. But on Saturday, as that high pressure system is moving in, the skies are starting to clear. We can see widespread frost starting to redevelop, extending from Queensland right down to Tasmania and also into parts of South Australia and even southern Northern Territory. And by Sunday, widespread areas with possible frosts across much of eastern Australia with some very cold air over us on Sunday morning. So it's a cold week to come. Make sure you stay up to date with all the forecasts and warnings on our website and our app, and we'll see you again soon.